My friend wants me to step aside so he can try dating the girl I'm close to. He says she's fair game, and he can give her what she needs. A little over 3 years ago, I, 20M, had just gotten out of a relationship with a girl who was really abusive. I broke up with her shortly before I graduated from high school, and wanted to take some time to focus on myself. Of course, a few weeks after the breakup, I met the most gorgeous girl I've ever met, and we really hit it off. I'll refer to her as Lisa, 18F. She had also gotten out of an abusive relationship, so neither of us was looking for anything serious. At the time, my driver's license was suspended for speeding too much, and my friend, I'll call him Ken, 22M, would offer to drive me to see her. For a few months, we would mostly just hang out together because we all got along really well. She and I would mostly just cuddle up if we were all watching a movie. Sometimes we would sneak off for a few minutes to make out a little, but not for long because we didn't want to be rude to Ken. Lisa and Ken developed their own friendship during this time, but it was obviously platonic on both ends, like an older brother/younger sister dynamic. Ken also had a girlfriend of 4 years then, but they were hanging by a thread. After 6 months, I got my license back, and I'd go see Lisa or take her out without Ken. At that point, Lisa and I started smashing in the bedroom. We both really liked each other, but I panicked and sort of ghosted her for a few weeks. Lisa and Ken continued talking, and he said he wasn't going to stop being friends with her just because I was being an idiot. Fair enough. I realized I was being stupid, and Lisa agreed to see me again. We immediately picked right back up where we left off. Around this time, Ken and his girlfriend broke up, so I moved in with him. I would go see Lisa a few times a week, and she would come to our place on the weekends, and we would all hang out. That continued for several more months until she ghosted me for about 2 weeks. She told Ken she was afraid I would bail again, and she didn't want to go through the pain again. We worked it out, but embarrassingly this cycle has since repeated once or twice, not in over a year though. Over the last year, especially since she turned 18, I've noticed Ken has acted differently around Lisa. He flirts with her in front of me. She's very friendly with him, but does not flirt back and pulls away when he touches her. I told him I don't like it, but he said it doesn't matter if he flirts with her, because she loves me. She says she doesn't feel that way about Ken at all, and everything indicates that's the truth. Ken has also started drinking more lately, and the other night when Lisa was not here, he started whining about life not being fair. I took the bait and asked what was wrong, and he started rambling about how Lisa is too good for me and I don't deserve her. I agree, but it still ticked me off. He then told me he is in love with her, has been for a while, and if I cared for either of them at all, I'd step aside so he could pursue her. I didn't want to argue with him while he wasn't sober, so I went to bed. I confronted him in the morning, and he doubled down. He said that I can't commit, I can't give her what she wants and needs, she isn't my girlfriend, and she is fair game to try to date. Am I wrong for thinking this is messed up? Lisa and I do have an unconventional relationship, I'll admit. We don't refer to each other as boyfriend and girlfriend, but we don't sleep with other people. We tell each other we love each other, she usually stays at my place, and we have a good relationship with each other's families. I think we're pretty happy together. I know she doesn't want to be with him, so I'm not worried about that. Still, since Ken said those things, I can't help but question if I'm being unfair to Lisa by holding her back with me. Update 1. I have been staying with Lisa for about a week now, since the initial confrontation with Ken, and thanks to people here, I was sure I wanted to ask her if she wanted to make things more official. She ended up making things even easier for me, as luck would have it. Lisa asked me if it might make things easier if I just told Ken that she was my girlfriend. I jumped on that opportunity and asked if I could tell everyone she is my girlfriend, and she said yes. She and I are going to look at a few apartments this week, since I obviously need a new living situation, and we want to move in together. Ken and I had a few brief discussions after he told me he wanted to be with Lisa. I had told her everything Ken had said to me, and she was not the least bit interested in him, as I had assumed. I also told him that she is officially my girlfriend now, so that should satisfy his concerns about me not committing to her, but he refused to believe any of it without confirmation from her in person, and without me around. She initially agreed to meet with him on Sunday, with the plan that they would meet at her house, since she lives with her mom and stepdad, but he rejected that, saying he wanted to meet at the apartment without me there. She told him she wasn't comfortable with that. If he wanted to meet up without me or her parents there, they at least had to be somewhere public. He got angry that his threatening behavior made her feel threatened and went on a tirade, calling her every name in the book. She told him she wasn't going to see him again at all and blocked his number. He has tried reaching out to me a few times, ranging from sad to aggressive, and I'm about a text or two away from blocking him as well. Hopefully, he'll just move on, and it won't come to that. First edit. To clarify, we both wish him well, but neither of us wants to continue a friendship with him under any circumstances. Since posting this, I've also blocked him. I agree with posters that there is no point in keeping any lines of communication open anymore. I have also reached out to some friends to help get the rest of my stuff out, but I was already able to get everything important when I first left. He can make a shrine out of my old shirts if he really wants. Second edit. Okay, so my stuff is out, thanks to 2 of my friends who are also friends of Ken. Friend 1 tried ahead of time to convince Ken to leave so we could get everything out without him, but it wasn't happening. Ken said he wanted to make sure I didn't mess with his stuff, which is ironic, since he tried messing with my relationship. Friend 1 then offered to act as a buffer so friend 2 and I could get my stuff out. When we first got to the apartment, Ken had obviously been drinking but was calm and seemed almost apologetic. I had already decided I wasn't going to engage with him at all because I don't see the point anymore. He did not like being ignored apparently and started going off, gradually saying worse and worse stuff. He started trash talking Lisa too, but I was able to ignore him and let it roll off my back until he told me, "You might need to mess her up and get her in line." He knows her ex before me was abusive. I'm very thankful my friends were able to get me out of there quickly because I have never been so angry like that in my life. Separate Ida edition. I have an ex-friend and former roommate who is spiraling in a bad way. I did post about the relationship aspect of this in our /relationships, but things have quickly continued to get worse, and I'm genuinely concerned for the guy. My girlfriend and I both blocked his number, but he has been reaching out to mutual friends to try to get the address of our new apartment. They have been ignoring him too, and some have blocked him, but he's not stopping. He went to my girlfriend's place of work the other day, she is a nanny, so works in the family's home, to talk things out with her, and left when she asked him to, but it did lead to her getting fired, since the parents don't want to risk him showing up again. She has worked for them for almost 2 years and understands, but is devastated. So that leads me to my question. My ex-friend clearly needs help that I cannot, and at this point will not, provide. I know in the past he has mentioned his mom being very overbearing and overprotective growing up, so I believe if I contacted her on Facebook, she would be very proactive in finding help for him. My girlfriend feels that me contacting his mom would be more of a revenge act, because he's made our lives hell for a few weeks now. He needs to get help on his own, and we need to distance ourselves completely from him. I feel like he needs help for drinking and possible mental problems, and even if I can't be friends with him anymore, I want to get help for him. I know his mom can't force him to get help, but she can probably do more than any of us. So, would I be wrong if I reported my friend's actions and heavy drinking to his mom?